All right. All right. Good morning, everyone. This is Let's Talk Java. I am your host, the Power Lady, Laarni Mulvey, and I have an awesome guest today because she's someone I've met virtually. We haven't met in person yet. I always say yet because we never know when we're going to meet people online. But I have Amanda Denham. Did I say your last name right?
Denham, yeah, you're good. Yeah.
Some people are like, it's Denham. I'm like, okay.
Like, hey, it's got all those letters.
I have Amanda with me today. She's going to tell me a little bit about her story. We were actually just talking offline a little bit about something that we have in common is just listening to people's stories. And we're going to get to that there in a little bit. But welcome, Amanda. Thank you for being on Let's Talk Java today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So it looks really nice over where you're at. Okay, so I'm in the Chicagoland area. It's actually warm here today. It's 60. We hit our high today at like 8 o'clock this morning. It was like 60 degrees. We hit our high. So right now,
that is so strange. Yeah, I'm in Alabama, and we're supposed to be cold right now, but we like to do this. So it's supposed to get up to 70 something today, which is crazy because you see, I wore a sweater to work.
Yeah.
Good for me. I'll just be hot later. It's fine.
And it's funny because I'm not a hot person. I can't stand being hot. So, whenever it gets cold, I like take it. I'm like a polar bear. I'm like a Filipino polar bear. I'm like, give me the cold weather as much as and the snow.
It is pretty fun. I think I covet what I don't have because we never have snow here. So I'm always just so excited about it. And so.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Who knew? I've never been to Alabama, so who knew? So Amanda, tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into the nitty gritty. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you're up to.
Well, as you guys know, my name is Amanda. I am 32 years old. I'll admit it right now. I do, like we said, I live in Alabama. I'm around Birmingham, Alabama. Some people know that because it's one of our biggest cities. I am a billing specialist by day at a temp agency. So I make sure that our company gets paid. So that's pretty important.
That's important.
I love art. So I'm an artist. I write. I have a published book. So I'm actually an author. It's still very weird to say that because it's very recent. So it's something you never get used to, I guess. And just trying to live day by day, achieve as much as I can, be productive, definitely spend time with friends and family because they are the thing that keeps me going.
Oh, I love that. Sometimes people talk about their businesses first and associate, and that's where their identity is from. I love that you put your family as part of who you are and why things go, why you're doing the things you're doing, because your family is important. I think that is something that is very commendable, especially we get so wrapped up in in like our business that we don't talk about ourselves. And so that's like one of the biggest things about Let's Talk Java is I love to let people talk about themselves and before talking about their services and businesses. So I love that. So with your art, let's talk about your art first. I love art stuff. So I know we have talked about you like illustrating something for me, and what got you into doing art?
I wish I could say like this definitive thing because I have been drawing for as long as I can remember. I think the youngest memories that are mine and not like I saw a picture, so I feel like I remember it, but I think my most independent memories are from when I'm 4 and 5 and I'm in kindergarten. And I just remember being obsessed with doing our little worksheets and then turning it on the back and drawing something on it. Like all of my kindergarten stuff just has doodles all over it. I've heard from my mom and dad that my dad can draw pretty well. And then maybe some people on his family side. So maybe it's kind of a genetic thing that I got. Sadly though, he doesn't draw much. I wish I could see it, but it just, for as long as I can remember, I know a big influence when I was little was Disney. Probably a lot of people when they're younger. I drew a lot of Lion King, a lot of Hercules and Aladdin and stuff like that. So I was really big into that. And it just progressed from when I was tiny. Just always fell in love.
Was there one thing that you like? For me, when you're saying how you're 4 or 5 and like drawing stuff, I used to think that I was going to be a fashion designer. I think it was 5th or 6th grade. I would draw shoes and dresses and like
That's
mixed
so
colors.
cool.
I mean, not to say that it can't happen now.
Yeah,
still
good.
You know, there's still a possibility. There's still some
Always.
time. Was there something that you like constantly drew over and over again that was like you kind of mastered it, you know? Like me, it was drawing high heels. I don't know if I can still draw a high heel, but
I bet you could. I bet it's like a muscle memory. You could just bang it out real quick. I'm laughing because if you know, we're talking about my family and friends. If you went to my family and friends and asked them the exact same question, they would all answer exactly how I'm going to answer right now. Since I was young, I was obsessed with the art from the cartoon Sailor Moon. Obsessed. Obsessed. Like I would watch it every afternoon whenever I got movies on, you know, VHS. Old technology that's not available anymore, but I would put the VHS in and then pause it at certain points and sketch what was on the screen. Like that's just how far back when I didn't have the resources to look at the comics or the internet yet or anything like that. So even to this day, if you're like, hey, draw me Sailor Moon, I can bang it out. Like it's ridiculous.
Wow, that's odd. And Sailor Moon, if I remember, is not an easy drawing. That like
she's not too, yeah.
The dimensions and things like that. The hair, the ponytails. See, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember Sailor Moon.
That's kind of like our generation. I wonder if people like who are younger than us might not know much about it. I'm not sure. They'd have a new one come out, so maybe they would know about that one. I'm not totally sure what, but yeah, our generation, that everybody kind of knows about it. And I just still to this day, I don't watch it as much anymore, but I'm still pretty obsessed. Anything that I see in the store, I'm like, oh, it has Sailor Moon on it, I have to buy it. So lifelong obsession.
Oh my, that's how I am with Hello Kitty. I definitely grew up with Hello Kitty. You know, I was born in the Philippines, moved to the States when I was 5, and Hello Kitty was everywhere in the Philippines. And then when I came to America, I was just like, where's Hello Kitty? And I mean, where'd she go? But now it's bad. Now it's everywhere, you know, like I used to have to just go to like the certain, you know, the Asian stores to find Hello Kitty stuff. Now it's like at Target and all these like retail places. So I'm like, so if I see a Sailor Moon shirt or something, I'm going to be like, Amanda, check out this Sailor. You got to get this.
Look at this. And now the same thing with Hello Kitty, because I have another friend who's pretty obsessed with Hello Kitty. So I'm going to have so many people to send pictures to if I see Hello Kitty.
Oh my gosh.
You're not the only one. You're not alone.
So let's talk about like your book. Like what made you, it's Sin Eater.
Yep.
And first tell us what made you write this book. And I love the artwork on the book.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So the artwork on the book actually came first because I was way more into drawing.
Is it yours? Is it yours?
It is. It is. Yep.
Love it. I love it.
My publisher let me use it. I sent it in just as a reference for their artists. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, we made a mock-up cover of it. Here you go. Let's use it. And it was just like, dream come true. But yeah, the art came first though. A long time. I mean, I think Facebook is great for this reminder. It told me I made that drawing 9 years ago. That's how old it is.
Oh my gosh, really? And your book just came out.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's crazy. And I made that one because I was inspired by some song lyrics. Oh, sorry, there was like a bug that just got really interested in my phone. And so let's see, the art came first. And I didn't think anything of it. You know, I made it. I really liked it. it sat probably in a drawer somewhere for forever. But then that character just got stuck in my brain. And that's kind of what happens like my whole life. Like if I think of a character, I'll write them a story. I had used to have a friend, I don't really talk to her much anymore, but I used to have a friend that she could see my drawings and she would ask me, well, what is this about? Like, what is this girl? What is this, like, what is going on with this? And so it was really fun to just kind of on the fly be like, well, maybe this, and this, maybe this, and this. And so I just got stuck on characters. And so this particular one, the one that's on the cover, I would draw her all the time. It just almost felt like she was an outlet. It was just, if I was sad, if I was upset, if I had a lot to say but couldn't say it, she was my outlet. And it felt like I felt better after drawing her, I guess. So whenever I started getting the idea for this book, it was like, this is the main character. This is who I need to write about, because she almost felt like I knew her already because I've been drawing her for years.
Okay, so random connection question.
Yeah.
Do you think your character or your drawing for Sin Eater has a little Sailor Moon?
Oh, totally. Literally all of my art, seriously. Like especially the comic art, because after I knew of the show, somebody in 8th grade, again, how far back it goes, said, hey, there are Sailor Moon comics at the library. And he was like, what? What? You didn't tell me this earlier? So I rented them out all the time, drew from them. So especially the comic art is such an inspiration even now. I love it. So yes, definitely there's some inspiration from that. It all connects.
It all connects. I love it. I think I'm looking at it right now and I love like the colors and just the facial expression of that cover. That art is just so, it like draws you. It draws you in. So
I'm glad you think so.
Tell us a little bit about what the book is about.
Sure.
Without giving out like the juicy part.
Oh, no spoilers, no spoilers. So the book opens with a girl named Jade. You learn that she has a job that's not quite like everybody else's. She is called the Sin Eater, and she is paid to erase anyone's bad memories that they want her to. That is her supernatural power. She discovered it by accidentally erasing her best friend's memory back in their senior year of high school. And her elusive, kind of shady boss, Jack, found out what she did and blackmailed her into this job. So now she's kind of stuck. She's helping her friend by paying off hospital bills because she completely erased her memory. She was in the hospital for a long time. And the book is about her struggling with this dark job because the people she meets all have these really sad stories. She carries them on her back when she leaves. She doesn't know if the morality of it is correct, because it's like these people want these memories erased, but is that actually the right thing to do for them? And she feels guilty about her past life, but then, eventually she's got to have her own future as well. And so it's like almost chaining herself to the past and not allowing herself to grow into the future. And so the book is about that struggle.
Wow. That is a deep story. I'm going to be getting your book because I feel like I can relate to the story of how I built her. I like my view of that concept of I built her and how going through things and how I wanted to erase those bad memories from back in the day, but I had to really learn from them, and I think that is a great way to relate to the character, but relate to life. Everybody wants to erase their bad memories, but really your memories are there for a reason. And you have to learn from that. I love that concept of the book. I love that idea of the book. So I'm definitely going to be putting that on my ordering Amazon list. So
I appreciate it. Anybody knows, or at least any author knows, who even one sale for a year, you're like, thank you.
It's like, yes, one sale is like cool.
Yes.
Like, I made it.
So honored. One person bought my book, so that's all I need. Seriously, like I about cry every time somebody says, "Hey, I bought your book." I'm like, "Really? You did?" Like,
Ugly
so
cry, like, thank you.
yeah, seriously, I swear I do that every time. It's good that most of it is like text, so no one can see me ugly cry about it.
Right. So now that you're an author, you're an artist, what else? What else are you planning on doing?
Oh gosh, I think that's my issue right now, is that so many doors in my mind have been opened where, you know, when you do something and then you're like, oh, I can do that. And then you think, I could do that. Oh, I could do that. And just that's you. Like I was talking to my husband the other day about that, where I was like, it's not a bad problem to have, but I want to do everything.
Yes.
And like technically you probably can if you're really good at time management. But my goodness, like, because I would love, like, I've finished a second book and I'm currently editing. I'll start trying to see if I can look for agents or another publisher maybe, because the one that published the last book, they're currently closed for submissions because they're doing great. They have too many submissions, so that's awesome.
Oh wow.
And so I'm editing that, and I want to, you know, of course, publish a second book. I'm also really interested in getting maybe more into the art biz. I've been hearing that my art will be really good for children's books, which we've talked about with yours that you want to do. So I'd love to do that. The last art festival I went to, a lot of teenagers and children were really drawn to it. So that kind of cemented it in my mind that maybe that's where my art belongs.
Oh, okay.
And then I have a little role, but like I've actually been interested a little bit in acting, because I got this tiny little role in an indie film that's being filmed here in my hometown. And it's one scene, so it's not taking up my whole life or anything, but it's really got those wheels turning where you're like, that was really fun. I kind of want to do that too. So it's too many things.
Oh my God, I love that. So do you know your line? Do you know your line at heart?
No. It's like a little scene between, I'm one of the main character's roommates, and she comes in and talks to me. So there's like a little scene between the both of us, maybe 5 or 6 lines are exchanged where I have like 5 or 6 lines and she does. And yeah, I mean, because mine probably won't be filmed until next year because they're getting kind of all the big ones banged out of the way.
Right.
And plus they're getting like, the big thing about it is they want to honor this hometown. So they're getting locations around here. So they're having to kind of do all that fun stuff and get all that settled. So it probably won't be till next year till I do it. So I have a little time to memorize my lines, thankfully.
I just remember like doing a play when I think I was maybe in 4th or 5th grade. There was some play I was in, and I don't even know what it was. I don't even remember what it was. And I had one line and I couldn't remember it.
Oh no.
I think that's why I don't remember it now, because I was like trying to, like, oh my God, how embarrassing, I couldn't remember it. You know, it's like one of those Christmas plays or something like that.
Yes, because we did a couple of those when I was little too. But at least when you're in 4th grade, they're kind of like, oh, that's so cute. Oh, and you can kind of just be embarrassed and run away, and it's like, it's fine, you know, like that's cute. But then your parents are going to tell the story forever and ever. So kind of a mishmash of good and bad.
So what do you want to leave? Like we've talked about like how we enjoy listening to other people's stories, and everything has everyone has something to say. Like, tell everybody what you were just telling me offline before we started recording about something inspiring and encouraging to other people.
Okay. So what we were talking about offline was, I think we all have certain things that mean a lot to us. And I think what means the most to me is to let everybody know that your story is worth telling. It can be your personal story. It can be a fictional one you're thinking in your head. You could be a filmmaker, a screenwriter who wants to make a movie someday. Even a dancer who wants to tell a story through dance. Any kind of story that you want to convey, whether it's about you or about somebody that you've made up in your head, it's worth it. Because I think that I wrote this book and I've done all this work so late in life because I sat around thinking, nobody cares about me. Nobody cares what I have to say. And it finally just hit me that no, who cares if they care? Like, I'm going to do it. And I've had such a response, you guys. Like, I've had people come to me and tell me that my book made them cry. I've had people come to me and say they relate to these characters, just as you said, Laarni. Like, and it's such an eye-opening experience because your story is worth telling. And that's the biggest thing I want to communicate to anybody I meet. Definitely.
And I think that encouraging word is very powerful, just because there are many people who have either stayed in the shadows and didn't think that they were good enough or important enough, but in reality, they matter. Things that they feel matter. Everything is important, and it may not be important to one person, but it's important to another person, So I think every time that we say a positive word or an encouraging word, it really affects, it may not affect 1 billion people, but it'll affect 10 people, and I think that's really
those 10 people can take that positivity to the next 10 people. I mean, I know there's a lot of times I'm just scrolling through my social media and some awesome person has some positive affirmation. And yeah, maybe 10 people scroll past it, but then there's me and I'm like, I needed that today. Yeah. Thank you. And I just feel like, it can't hurt to put it out there and see who you can reach.
Right. I love that. That's how it should be. I talk about like the positivity forest and how you plant a seed of positivity everywhere. You should be planting a positivity seed everywhere you go, with everyone you meet. And because then that person plants a positive seed somewhere else, and then it just trickles down and trickles down. I think that's really how I see my life, my vision life, is that positivity force is huge. Yeah.
Growing all the time.
All right. So Amanda, as we're wrapping up, where can people get your book? Where can people connect you? Tell us your deets and how people can connect with you and your services.
So Sin Eater is on Amazon. After I published it, I did not realize there are 2 or 3 other really big books that are named Sin Eater or The Last Sin Eater. So it's probably a little easier if you put Sin Eater Amanda, and it actually brings mine up, because, I'm a little small fry now compared to those awesome big books right now. I'm on Facebook, Instagram. What do I use? Twitter. I think Instagram is just a.denham. And I think everything else is it's like A Denham Creations. Because I don't know, like, I'm an artist, I write, I kind of want to act. So I'm like, what am I? So creations, I just create. Just everything.
And I think that is like a great way to like describe yourself. You're a creator. You are a creator of your own life. You're a creator of your own art. You're a creator of your book. But what's really sticking out in my mind about you is when you're like, well, I can do that. Ooh, okay, I've done that. I can do that too. Okay, I did that. Ooh, maybe I can do that. And I think it's a snowball effect of the can do's. Like, I can do that. I can do that too. Well, shoot, I can do. And it is such a great way to live life in a positive way, because when you can do it, even if you tried it and didn't succeed, you're like, but I can do it.
Yeah, it's there. It exists.
It is there. It exists. And I think that is a great way to end our conversation, because if you can do it, I can do it. Anybody can do it.
Yes.
Right?
So yes, so much. Yes. Like, if I can do it, believe me, you can do it.
Well, Amanda, thank you so much for being on Let's Talk Java today. This was a great conversation. We're going to have to do a 6-month follow-up and see where you're at, because I have a feeling there's so many amazing, great things coming down the pipeline for you. And now that you're out there on Let's Talk Java, who knows who is going to connect with you. And
that's the fun of it.
Yes. And, excuse me, I have like a little tickle in my throat.
Oh no.
So all of your contact information, services, things like that. If people want to get to know more about your art, get to know more about your book, I'll put all of Amanda's social media connections, things like that, onto the YouTube description page, because she is a wonderful person to talk to. I love talking to her. This is like our second time talking. The first time we were going to do this, my internet went down, so I had to reschedule, but I'm so glad I'm so glad that we got to reschedule. So everyone, connect with Amanda, check out her services, and check out her book on Amazon, and probably other booksellers have it too, right?
It might just be Amazon for now. A couple of little independent bookstores around my area have it. But I still need to talk. I want to talk to like Barnes and Noble and see what we can get going, maybe.
Yeah, same. But
I know, right?
I feel you. As a new author, I feel you as well. I'm just like, oh, maybe who can I talk to? So
you know how it is.
There is always a possibility, and I love your can-do attitude, and I think that is a great a great example for people. Don't talk yourself out of it. Just see if you can do it, and do it.
So. I mean, there's not much that can happen other than maybe I'm embarrassed and I go home and just bundle under a blanket for a month. Like, it's no big deal, right?
Oh my gosh. All right, everybody. This is your episode of Let's Talk Java. I have my amazing guest, Amanda Denham, here with me today. I'm so glad she was able to hop on for a few minutes and tell us a little bit about her story, her journey, and things that she provides with services, but also the creative side of her. So I'm so glad she was able to hop on. So check out this next episode. It'll come out soon. I will make sure to get all Amanda's information and everything onto the YouTube description page so you guys can get a hold of her. So you guys, this is the end of this episode. I'm so glad you're here, Amanda. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful and safe day, everybody. And this is Let's Talk Java with Laarni Mulvey. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Thanks.